Ladies and gentlemen, movie flicker pickers, cinephiles, and other podcast listeners alike, today is the day. The nominees for the 97th Annual Academy Awards are out, and yours truly, the Western Wonder, will run through the categories and conduct a series of early blind predictions on who or what I think will win in said field. A heads up that, due to not seeing certain categories, I will not be covering the documentary, international, and shorts fields in this episode. I've only seen one short film this year and that didn't make the short list, and I've also only seen one documentary and that wasn't even nominated. But I plan to do better with those fields this year. Or at least that's the plan. I'll be going over the list from bottom to top, working my way up to the betrothed Best Picture category. So without further ado, let's get right into things and see what got nominated. Starting off with the Best Visual Effects category, the nominees are Alien Romulus, Beta Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Now, out of all these films in this category, I've only seen Dune Part 2, so that's going to be my early blind prediction for now. And it did get some awards during the season, so that seems like the likely film to win. Dune's visuals this time go around just as much as the first. It's just amazing, to say the least. But I would be pretty surprised if another film wins over this at the Oscars. Well, for now, I'm just going to say Dune Part 2. The nominees for Best Film Editing are Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. I'm going to go with my best guess and go with The Brutalist for this category. That's gotten a lot of raise, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like Conclave or Anora wins here. Anora has some terrific editing, and Conclave also has some terrific editing. Both well-edited films. However, I do think The Brutalist could have a shot here. I've heard a lot of good things about this movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. The nominees for Best Costume Design are Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. My early prediction here would have to be Wicked. I've heard great things. I've seen the costumes. It's great gowns, beautiful gowns. I think it has a shot at winning here. However, if I would have an alternate pick, I would say perhaps Nosferatu or Conclave or Gladiator 2 has some good costumes as well. I don't know if it's going to win this, though. And I have not seen A Complete Unknown, so I really can't gauge the costumes. I don't know, Timothy Chalamet has one as Bob Dylan, so I really don't know if that could win there. But as for now, I'm going to have to say Wicked would be my early prediction for Best Costume Design. The nominees for Best Makeup and Hairstyling are A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. My early prediction here would have to be The Substance or A Different Man. The makeup in both of these films are absolutely intense and fascinating and interesting at the same time. I'm not sure about these other films here. If I were to have a third in between that, I could say Nosferatu, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to beat something like The Substance and A Different Man. The makeup team went crazy for both of those films. I'm going to have to say either one of those could win here. But preferably The Substance for me. The nominees for Best Cinematography are The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. Early predict here, perhaps Dune Part 2 or The Brutalist. I've seen 4 out of the 5 films here, and I gotta say that all of them will have great cinematography. Personally, for me, I was very impressed with Maria and Nosferatu's. I just don't see it winning here, though, especially when you have something like Dune Part 2 and The Brutalist here. So, I don't know. I feel like an early predict here, well, my best bet would be Dune Part 2, and an alternate pick would probably be The Brutalist. Once again, I have to see it to confirm my early assessments. So I'm going to just do what the Academy did and skip the Best Original Song category because I have not heard all 5 of these songs. In fact, I think the only one I heard in this category is a song from Sing Sing. So immediately, that's my pick, only because that's the only song I've heard here. And since the Oscars will not be having the Best Original Song nominees performed at this year's telecast, I'm skipping it and going straight to Best Original Score. And the nominees are The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. My early predict, as this is the one of 2 films I've seen in this category, would be Conclave, but I wouldn't be surprised if The Brutalist gets here. However, I am surprised that Challengers didn't get nominated here, as it got a win at the Golden Globes, but that got completely shuttered out here, so I'm pretty surprised on that front. But yeah, as of now, I would have to say Conclave would be my early pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if The Brutalist gets it. Alright, the nominees for the Best Animated Feature are Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. If I were to put in an early pick, I would say either The Wild Robot or Flo wins here. Flo won Best Animated Feature at the Golden Globes, but I have not seen that one yet, so I really can't say how I feel about that yet. We'll watch it before the Oscars for sure. The Wild Robot I have seen though, and that's also a very beautiful film. Memoir of a Snail, same thing, a very beautiful stop motion feature, and I also like Wallace and Gromit, but I don't think that's going to be Oscar winning per se. Inside Out 2 also I did not see, so if I were to say an early predict, it would either be The Wild Robot or Flo here. Wouldn't be surprised if that one wins. And it also got in for Best International Feature, so perhaps that'll give it a boost. We'll see. For Best Adapted Screenplay, the nominees are Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. Now, I'm not one to dissect the scripts or anything, but I really enjoyed Sing Sing's script. But I also like Conclave's as well, and it did win at the Globes. It's difficult to kind of gauge based off of Golden Globes wins, as that is the only major precursor that has already happened. The Critics' Choice has been delayed several times, so really can't go from that. Conclave won there, so that would be my early prediction there. My alternate would be Sing Sing. Meanwhile, in Best Original Screenplay, the nominees are Nora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. I would have to say The Brutalist could win here. It got a lot of screenplay nods in other places. It could have a shot here. I wouldn't be mad to see A Real Pain win, though. That was the most recent film I've seen in this list, so it kind of stands out to me compared to the other ones. I wouldn't have a problem with that one winning either. That was a very beautiful film as well, so I just see The Brutalist could definitely take it home, though. Now we're in the acting territory, and we're going to start off with the supporting categories. For Best Supporting Actress, the nominees are Monica Barbaro for Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. Firstly, I was grieving bad this morning because Margaret Qualley and Danielle Deadwyler did not make the categories here.
Oh my God, my Shayla!
So with them gone, I would say my early predict, going by the Globes again, would be Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. But an alternate I could see, I don't know. Maybe Ariana Grande, who knows? We'll have to see. It's kind of hard to tell. I have to watch Wicked, I guess, to gauge that. But as of right now, it seems like Zoe Saldana seems like a pretty easy win here. Meanwhile, for Best Supporting Actor, we have Yura Borisov for Nora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. As I mentioned, I saw Real Pain as the most recent film here, so I'm going to have to say Kieran Culkin. He's been having a pretty good streak with the critics, so it seems ideal that he should win here. It would be pretty surprising if he didn't, so I'm going to have to go with him, because he was really great in The Real Pain. So I'm going to have to say Kieran Culkin here. I'm still grieving over Clarence Macklin missing for Sing Sing, though. That's heartbreaking to see. Now for leading categories, starting off with Best Actress, the nominees are Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Nora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. My early predict here, I guess, would be Demi Moore. I really liked her in The Substance. She gave a terrific performance, and I guess this is just vindication for a lot of horror performances that were stubbed from the Oscars in past years, so it would be a pretty inspired one to see her here. And once again, I'm going by the Globes, so I would have to say her. If I were to have an alternate, maybe Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. She won the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a drama, and as Demi Moore got Best Actress in a musical or comedy at the Globes, so I guess she would be my alt here. Meanwhile, for Best Actor, the nominees are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. If I would have to go for a pick here, I wouldn't be surprised if Adrian Brody wins for The Brutalist or Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, though my personal inspired pick should be Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. He was amazing in that movie, just a tremendous performance throughout. I have not seen Timothée Chalamet in A Complete Unknown to gauge it, and I have seen Sebastian Stan's work, but in A Different Man, which he did get nominated for at the Globes and won for, but not The Apprentice, so I really can't gauge that performance there, so early predict the win, Adrian Brody or Ralph Fiennes. My personal inspired pick, Coleman Domingo. Give it to him, man. Come on. And if you don't give it to him. He'll be back for the Michael Jackson biopic next year playing Joe Jackson. And Best Director, the nominees are Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Sean Baker for Nora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, Coralie Fargeet for The Substance, and James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. No Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2 once again. Alright, if I were to say to predict, I guess Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. I'm going by the Golden Globes again. I'm not good at these kind of prediction things. Perhaps I'll revisit them closer to the date when I see more of these films again in full. But as of right now, I'm going to gauge with the Globes and say Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. It could change, who knows. But I wouldn't be mad if Coralie Fargeet won for The Substance. That final act was... Wow. But Brady Corbett, as of right now, is my early pick for Best Director. Now we're on to the Best Picture category, and I have to say, I have to give my absolute congratulations to one of the biggest talents, I think, that has come out this year. He's fantastic. He's, unique. He's charismatic, charming, but you get the point. I just want to say a shout out to nominees to be determined, because that is... a lot of this producers list is just under nominees to be determined. 5 nominations in his breakout year. Who could do that? That's just fantastic. But to be serious here, let's look at the nominees. For Best Picture, the nominees are Nora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. It's too early to call it, but I wouldn't be surprised if The Brutalist wins here. It seems like one that could take all the awards home. But I wouldn't be surprised if something like Conclave, or I know this is a movie that not a whole lot of people enjoy, but Amelia Perez could particularly, win here. The Substance would be a cool win, though. I would like to see that. I just don't know if that could win Best Picture, though. So as of right now, my early pick is going to have to be The Brutalist. Nominees to be determined. I'm team nominees to be determined. Anything that has nominees to be determined, I'm rooting for them. But yeah, as of right now, that'll be The Brutalist. And that concludes me speed running through some of these Oscar nominations and early predictions. Awful, I know. The awards will be handed out on March the 2nd at the annual telecast that will be hosted this time by Conan O'Brien, which is one of the biggest reasons I plan to watch. So I perhaps will go through the films again and what happened at the ceremony in a separate episode in March. And that'll be a wrap on this episode. If you'd like to stay updated on when new episodes drop, be sure to be subscribed to the podcast wherever you get them, whether that's YouTube or Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or whatever, and find us on social media where you can be found on Twitter, Instagram, and the newly instated TikTok under the username at Pic-a-Flic Pod. That is at PICAFLIC POD. And also, if you're under the app Letterboxd and you'd like to do reviews there, you can find me there under the aforementioned Pic-a-Flic Pod username handle. I do some reviews there from time to time sporadically as well that I won't do on the audio podcast. So be sure to check me out there if you use that. Thank you all for listening to me rambling through these nominations. And until the next one, this is the Western Wonder, and I am signing out. Peace.
Bye. Have a great time.